So the first one I wanted to teach because lately I put a lot of my time, my nunchucks time, into finger rolls. I could tell you why. Maybe do it in 1 minute. Come on, JJ, you can do it. I think finger rolls are a part of the past, the present, but also a part of the future. We have a lot. If we do XMA, or we do really the flow style, or we do like freestyle as a sport, I think both in finger rolls, you can really put a nice diversity in your roll trick set. So you can do like fast, and then go here and do like hand motion stuff, like all the stuff that Ken Hill is a true master at it. Then you can also do like, your aerial stuff, this and that, up. But then comes the finger rolls, and those you can use to accelerate, but also to put total pace out of your form. We call it a form here. So based on I start now, I end later, this was the form. So I really think that everyone should at least get a little notice of it. So I was like, okay, where do I start? I mean, I do have to honestly tell you, I do not really follow all the YouTube stuff. I'm just more busy on Instagram, also because of my tournaments. So I really have no actual clue of in what way Ken Hill already showed finger rolls. I know he's good at it, so he must have shared a piece with you about it. But I have no idea. I don't even have a clue about who's watching me now. So that's a little bit difficult for me to to build on. Mostly when I do this kind of let's say tutorials, it's quite one-on-one. So the situation is someone says like, okay, I saw you doing that, I have a problem with it, I can get to this but never to that. Then I ask you, okay, send me the video, and then I can build on that, like, all right, this is a bit off, maybe you just have to do it faster, or just step away from a few days from that point of view about the trick. So in this case it's a little bit different. My thought was to show a little bit diversity in a very easy trick. But I also don't want to forget the people who are like, finger rolls, that's a little bit out of my zone, or I'm not interested, and I get that a lot of people who play with like heavier nunchucks with a longer chain, or a chain in particular. I used to get the message a lot from, I have a chain, I cannot do finger rolls. It's harder, I have to admit, but I'm not gonna say it's BS, but it's actually possible, and I hope the way I'm going to show it right now, that you will see that you can do finger rolls with a chain or with a longer connector. When we talk about finger rolls, you can have a lot of tricks. So you can have the finger thumb roll, of course, that's a classic. You can have a thumb roll. You can have like the wheel or the reversed wheel. But there are also really basics that people just look over to, if I say that correctly, because we say it like that in Dutch. It's like it gets under the radar, but it's actually, even what your level are, you can actually use it in a lot of ways, a lot of times when you're when you see them, when you have an eye for it. But that comes together, of course, with wanting to learn them, with with that show-off part I talked about earlier. That was a big trigger for me to get into the freestyle because of the, really the show-off. To get started in a really practical way, if you feel like, okay, I already am decent with finger rolls, maybe this is a little bit off for you, but still, we'll just get started. So I just want to focus on the finger thumb roll. So in essence, the finger thumb roll is this. It's nothing more or less than that. So you just probably, most of the time, you start it like this. So you swing off in the, this is what I call, by the way, I know probably Ken has other other words for it, other jargon, as we call it here. This is, for me, is the positive grip. And this is the negative grip. Since we as freestylers just hold it always or almost always near the connector, this is actually the negative grip, and this is the positive grip. So the positive grip, standard grip. So to start from here, what do you need actually for finger rolls in essence, besides, let's say, Fingerspitzengefühl, how the Germans say, so that little detail for fine motorics. If I say that right, it's actually speed. It's not speed. It's literally you're gonna maybe take a step back. I hope the sound is still good. I have not experience with this room. So if you just do the horizontal figure 8, and this is the way I hold it. So of course I don't hold it like this. I mean, I hope that makes sense, but I hold it more in a more, you know, I don't know, maybe like I would, you know, stir when I should cook, more like that. So yeah, more like, I wouldn't say pencil because that's another stance what we come to in a few minutes. But more like this, you know. It's a little bit subtle. It gives me the perfect. So you should be able to actually hold it like this and then use the other fingers to, you know, make sure you're a little bit supported. So then we go to the figure 8, the horizontal figure 8. And at a certain point you just will feel it's like rope skipping. Like, you know, chuck, chuck. And then you just, after a few times you will just feel when it's the moment just to jump in and to go on with the rhythm. It's exactly the same thing. So I will stand maybe a little bit like this. So at a certain moment when it's on top, you're gonna release it and just the index finger goes up. And this is what I call the pencil stance. You see? The pencil stance. It won't be really like this because now I'm just a little bit over exaggerating. Like this is also fine. So you go like this. I will try to go as slow as I can. And then chuck. This one. And then with the speed, yeah, it's a thing about, I'm not a scientist, but it's a thing about G-forces. So the outsides, they're not, by the way, in this kind of chuck, heavier than the inside. You have some of these. I don't think they get much used for freestyle. But it's, yeah, you build the speed up. And then you stop it here. And this is like the exact point where you can, with that speed, just push off. It goes really fast. If you're not really home at these kind of tricks, it goes really fast. But just when it comes by, you just really like, you see? You just push it. So then, as you can see this. Now, what I will do at the end of this tutorial, and that's a little bit difficult for the tutorials I make, so at my Instagram channel I do make tutorials, but I think, yeah, there are so many tutorials, not only Ken Hill, yeah, he's a big part of the pie, but also others. So on my Instagram page, I try to focus on these finger rolls, because I think that it's a little bit, yeah, it doesn't get much light in the total amount of tutorials, but I think it's the future. I keep on saying that, so I hope that on my channel you can find them. It's not, let me make this clear, I do not have the intention to yeah, drag you to my channel. It's just, if you want to see more of me, if you're interested in these kind of tutorials, you can check them out over there. So the finger thumb roll, okay, you've done it now. You can also do it horizontally, vertically. Yeah, so this is horizontal. Yeah, it's a little bit colder, so also a little bit nervous. I'm not really nervous, but you know, it's like, yeah, what Ken reaches to me today is a big audience actually, or is, you know, it's bigger than I'm used to. I'm also not used to go really into, yeah, so many people. So I rather go one-on-one with people I trust, people who are kind to me, like they come to me and I'm like, okay, I know who you are, let's do this. It's just, yeah, this is different. But nonetheless, I think the things I'm gonna tell right now is usable not only for you, but also might be useful for people you think like, okay, they're a little bit stuck in their trick set. Just let them know, okay? So this one, I repeat, you grab it here. I hope it's very visible. And then you saw me doing the last one. So so I'm not an English native speaker, so I try to translate always from Dutch to English in my head. So I actually uploaded it. So it's, yeah, not like uploading a file, but, you know, just load it is maybe a better word. So I load it from the right to swing to the center and then to get the speed, so I can just pop it up here. And this is all for the finger thumb roll. That's exactly all you need to do. Create speed, just like that. it's just like that. It's not more difficult. If you're familiar with the trick, yeah, you know. If you're not familiar, this is the part where it gets interesting. So this one. If you have problem with this one, just try. Like I will make mistakes in these tutorials. I don't really give a, so I don't care if I will make drops when I go further with teaching this stuff. I don't care, and you shouldn't either, because everyone who is watching right now makes more drops than that ever works out. I think that makes you more human than you can ever be. So don't mind about that. So it's trial and error. Horizontal. It's really making speed. This side of the nunchucks gonna create G-force when I release, and then you just snap it. You snap it here, and it's a 540 spin. Always with finger rolls, at least if the rope is almost like the back of your palm, it's 1.5 rounds, so 540 spin. If you're really that good already that you can see it while it's moving, voila, this is it. Now from this point, when you complete the finger thumb spin, you can also adjust. So let's say I'm doing another trick. I'm doing this. You see, maybe I'll go further. So I'll do, what is it? The vertical hand roll. It's a vertical hand roll, yeah. It's a trick, it's commonly used when you just really don't know what to do. You just do like this. And where you end up? You end up right here. You just think for a second. How fast? And you know you can be very fast when you're already trained in this. So you end up here. How fast can you switch from this position to this one? It's really fast. So let's say you're doing this trick. And you switch, see, I'm already switched. I just moved my pinky to here, so my other fingers can go to here. So I'm doing this one. And then it's exactly the same spot, or it's the perfect spot where I want to end. Because from here, everywhere you start, it's for strikes. Doesn't matter, it's the exact point where you want to start. It's the ideal point to start a trick, it's from the side. So let's say I'll do this horizontal figure 8. I completed it. So you start here, and then you switch over by just, you know, it's a little bit subtle. You will feel when it's right. So you move your fingers a little bit to the end, and then you go a little bit more to the pencil stance. It doesn't have to be like a pencil. If it's like this, it's okay as well. Now from this point, you can so you end up here, swing it, and do what I call a thumb spin. So that's where I make the difference between a roll. A roll is from the start and it's 540, so 540 spin, and this is a spin. So there is nothing that you need for this thumb spin to do than just go to here, make speed to the center, and then just release it. The releasing point will be when it's actually not in a straight line, but it just comes closer. It's the same as a hand roller. You can tell a lot of science behind it, but that's actually quite unuseful because it's trial and error. And yeah, when you already spin nunchucks, it's quite easy. It comes, how do you say that in English? Anyway, it's like go with the flow. So you get it here, you just quit, and you just complete it. It's just, I'm gonna fail now. See? Okay, it's even hard to fail. And it automatically you know when the time is there to open your hand. It's actually like just hand rolls. You know it. Nobody needs to tell you, now I have to open, now I have to open, now I have to release. It's just the same with the basic aerial. Nobody has to tell you, oh, that's the trial and error part, you're already way behind that. So like this happens or this happens, but in the end, you will always get it straight. You will not end up here unless you're intending to, but you'll always end up here. So just trust on that process. Trust that something that your brain or your muscle memory, they catch up quick with it. That being said, so the finger thumb roll. You see, if you're able to do this one, and you try this, and from this point on, this one, well, congratulations. Then you can do the finger thumb roll. But you know what? if you're a little bit into finger thumb rolls or into finger spins, that's just the basic one. And why do I say basic? Not only because it's of a basic level, but also because a lot of people do it. And so you're busy, I don't know what you guys are doing. When I do singles, I do stuff like this. I do, you know, spinning around. You can go hyper style, more bounces, like this, up under your leg, and so on. But at a certain point, you want to show some diversity, not only for yourself or for your next video in opposite to your previous one, but also to other contenders. You know, there's the word contender again, because I'm really focused a lot on Nunchaku as a sport. So what can you do to put a little diversity in it? I'll show you. So this is a classic one. So most of the time it's done like this. So one thing you can do is just, maybe you can see it better like here, shift your body to the back and then like put it in another window, literally almost. Like this, up, cha-cha-cha. So you're passing on and then you just shift your weight. It's a total other view than someone is like, and then does it like this. It's totally different. So that's one. What you can also do is change your plane. I don't know if you guys call it like that, plane, but just the direction of the way it's being viewed by the spectator. So for example, and there comes the pencil stand. So we're actually gonna, so yeah, you can do it like vertically and horizontally, as I just told you, but you can also, you can cut the trick into half. So you do like this, and you end up here in the pencil stands, and then you can switch over to here. So this, switch over and do the thumb spin part right here. So it's a total different view already. Then you go like, because if someone is really into finger rolls and you start to do this, everybody knows how the trick is going to end. So there you're going to play a little bit ahead of it, like it's a chess game. I think that's something as a sportsman into nunchucks, you just have to play on the surprise a little bit. Just don't do everything. Don't do a sequence that people can say that know your repertoire, that know your tricks, like that's it and this is gonna do that. We all know a guy or a woman, or we all know players where you can say like, I think I saw that video already. You know, it's deja vu feeling. And that's something I think you should need to avoid, and also, you know, just, yeah, create more fun in it, also for yourself. So when you do like this, and you drag it to here, and that's where I come to my second part. It's a little bit, yeah, it's different from the finger thumb spin. It's actually more like the typical XMA finger roll, and it's the index to reverse. As I already have a tutorial on my page, but that doesn't matter. It's just important for new guys to just know how many tricks you already can do with just two simple things. So let's say I do like this, and then from the pencil stance, I don't do it further to finger thumb roll. Let's say I just drag it to here. So I create a full lane of this index roll. Then I come to here, and from this point, I'm gonna do the exact same, and it's the exact same position. So it's the, you will end up just in the pencil stance. It's just nothing more or less than that. But besides coming from the right and spinning it to the positive grip, you will now, from the pencil stand, start from the left. And then you're going to do the same thing, come from here with speed, and at a certain point, you will just release it. You will just, the thumb goes down, the index finger, you will hold it as still as you can, then you get this nice effect. Yeah, I was already in the next stage, so this, voila. What is it? It's just really basic, but the effect is just amazing. I mean, I think it's, I can do like 50, 60 different finger rolls, and it's cool, and it's for myself to see how far can I go into this. But when I see someone and he says do finger rolls, these are the ones I will do. So like, I'm just doing the same right now. So, I just did the same tricks. These are all, yeah, this So it feels like I'm in a total finger roll vibe. But actually, I'm just copying the same trick, but just from another angle. So I will put this. I maybe have to end up the first tutorial a little bit because I keep on going. Yeah, mostly I'm just more like directly to the subject or to the you know, to the pain point, the bottleneck. It's a little bit harder, but I hope you just get what I mean by yeah. So that it can be really easy if you don't make it harder for yourself by just going in a little bit more of diverse way with the tricks you already own. And also finger rolls, it's not about, oh, I have big fingers, or my chain is too long, or I have a chain, it's not possible. Just, it's exactly the same as hand rolls. Exactly, it's just with your fingers. It doesn't have to be so complex. Same goes for coordination. It's really, you really still have a lot of control, so if you're really interested in finger rolls, I would say go on that path because you can create so much diversity in it. And it's also a good diverse element you have on the other stuff you already can do. And besides things like claws or stalls, it's just basically, it's exactly sort of same manipulations you make there. So yeah, next on this clip, so this was the first tutorial. I hope it was a little bit towards your expectations. But I will put a slow motion of these kind of tricks. It's always helpful. That's how I learned like almost the most out of it. So yeah, okay. We'll go to the next one. I think probably will be sent out the week after. I don't really know. I should have talked to Ken a bit more about that. But yeah, we'll do the next one almost like right away. So okay, good luck with the slow motions.